Hello and welcome to Classical Wednesdays. This month I'm here with the Kinu Clarinet Trio. So what's a clarinet trio for those that may not know, and also how did you guys meet?
So a clarinet trio is made up of a violin, clarinet, piano, and we met at Guildhall, School of Music and Drama, and I messaged both of you to see if you would play in my mid-year exam where we played the Khachaturian.
Right, so you wanted to play the wonderful Khachaturian trio, and for an exam you needed to have the whole piece. It'd be a bit silly with just the piano part. Yeah, absolutely.
Singing the others.
Yeah. And the Khachaturian is one of the main clarinet trio pieces in the repertoire. There are pieces by Bartók and Mio, but Khachaturian's a really great one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
You know, and what do you how do you find playing the Khachaturian?
It's funny because when we started that, I think maybe just because we were a fresh group as well, we used to overthink it a lot, and we struggled a bit with that, trying to find characters, and we got a lot of external coaching, and then we got to Stravinsky, which is much harder to get together and
Made the
very
Khachaturian breezy.
yeah. So it came back to a Khachaturian, and I was like, this is fine.
That's great. I mean, it is a complex piece, isn't it? But it's got that lovely. I always feel it's got a lovely folky sort of feel to it. And it's this very free, almost improvised feel to it. So now we've got another clarinet trio, this time by Igor Stravinsky, and it's a trio version that he made himself of a suite of pieces from L'Histoire du Soldat, Soldier's Tale. So there's a little story with this, isn't there? It's program music.
Yeah, so it's quite a story with lots of bends in it. It's quite long, but the main kind of, in a nutshell, it's about Joseph, who's a soldier, and he's got this violin that he loves, and then he meets the devil, and the devil says, if you give me your violin, then I will give you a book with all the untold wealth in it. Joseph takes the book. Kind of long story of some deaths,
There's always got to be some
sorrow,
deaths in there somewhere. Yeah.
He basically regrets, and basically the whole moral of the story is, if you're happy, he was returning home from the war, and he had this great violin. He was returning home to his wife and his mum. He lost all of that in return for this book, and then he got a new wife who was a princess, and in the end she got taken from him as well. So I think it's kind of like, if you've got something happy, don't let it go for something you think that will make you happier.
Great, and well, there you go. And we all like a good moral. Maybe we could if you want to, look up the detail of the story. It's fine. But that was it. I think it was a good précis, wasn't it? Yeah, it's great. And this trio version, there are several versions of this piece, aren't there? So there's a septet version.
Was the original, yeah.
Right.
For septet, conductor, narrator, and dancer.
Right.
Yeah, it was meant to be like a travelling sort of show.
Yeah.
That never really worked out.
Right. So it wasn't one of his successes.
No,
I think the suite was performed before the septet took off.
Right.
Because didn't you say something to do with they couldn't tour it?
Yeah, I think that was a pandemic actually, and they couldn't tour it.
Yeah, so the trio suite became more popular.
Okay.
But then now I think they've levelled out, and as long as you've got the dancers and all the people, then Soldier's Tale, the whole thing.
Things always get revived, don't they? And particularly if it's Stravinsky, that everybody wants to find all the little things that he even didn't publish or whatever. Everybody's so keen to find all the details of somebody who's as popular as that. But it's a great suite, isn't it? And you've got 5 movements, sort of telling the story.
Yeah.
One or two of which are very violin heavy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because obviously it's a story about somebody with a violin.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the end is great, isn't it? Which is the sort of devil's dance thing at the end where everything goes wrong, but it's great. You know, it's very exciting. What do you enjoy particularly about playing this suite, do you think?
Probably like the story in it and the characters, and every movement is so different.
Yeah.
And you've just got to kind of switch, because the whole suite has obviously got a lot more movement, so it probably has more of a gradual thing. But here we've got to go from like, he's enjoying his violin, it's taken off, and it's the devil is screaming. So it's like, there's a lot of switches, but it keeps you kind of engaged.
It's all very condensed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Compressed almost. And even one movement has sort of got 3 different dance forms within the same movement, hasn't it? Which is great, was it? It's a tango.
And then the waltz.
Which you get the tango rhythm in the piano at the beginning, don't you? And then a waltz, and then a ragtime number as well. So it's again, as you say, it's very sort of cut down in a way, isn't it? And the changes happen really quickly, which is great. So anyway, here we are, the Kinu Clarinet Trio to play the Soldier's Tale by Stravinsky. after that very exciting performance of Stravinsky, we're going to finish this Classical Wednesday recital by the Kinu Clarinet Trio, not with a clarinet trio, but with a final solo clarinet work. I heard Cara perform this work in the summer at a summer school and thought we've got to do that for Classical Wednesdays because it is a pretty remarkable, fairly unique, I suspect, work. And those of you who watched last month's programme with percussionist Chris Brannick talking about the theatrical element of contemporary music, well, this is very much following on in the same lines, isn't it? So this is a piece by Stockhausen, who has sort of been somebody who has had a reputation as being very difficult, very hard to understand music, that a lot of people would say, oh, I don't like that. But this is sort of different because it's got not just the musical elements, it's got other elements in it. Tell us a little bit about this piece.
Yeah, so it's the Decline Harlequin is his 42nd and a half work. It's a 9-minute piece taken from his 42nd work, which is just Harlequin, which is about a 40-minute piece, originally written for clarinetist Suzanne Stevens, who's a really good friend of Stockhausen. And it's theatrical solo clarinet. There's dancing in it. The music is often for Decline Harlequin, it's double stave. So you've got what I need to play, or the clarinetist needs to play, and then your footwork to the rhythms for your feet. It's all in German, so you've got to translate it into English, unless you speak German, of course. And it's got kind of like where you need to be on the stage, but I'd say about 50% of it is up to the performer.
Right, so there's quite a free element within it of your own interpretation of the music.
Yeah, exactly. So I did some kind of research into because the character, the Harlequin, is taken from the Commedia dell'arte theatre character, who kind of this slapstick, cheeky character, a little bit of a menace. And I've taken that aspect, but also sometimes a little bit of a flirty aspect because he kind of gets involved with people's romantic lives, I think. But yeah, so just kind of different research. I did a bit of Charlie Chaplin watching, really kind of turned out feet, kind of walking. Yeah. But yeah, so I think it's got the basis of like the stage mapping and your footwork, but you can add as much or as little characters into it. Because, for example, there's one section where I'm told to do 10 different characters. And I kind of went to town with that. And I had some coaching from John Kenny, who's a fantastic contemporary trombone player, but his background was in acting.
Okay.
So I had a few sessions with him where a lot of it was to make sure I was doing things healthy for my body, not twisting in a bad way, breathing's okay. But then also for the comedy, for the facial expressions.
Which I think are really fantastic, they really work well. But that must be quite a key thing, is to be able to still play the clarinet while you're, as you will see in a minute, running around on stage.
Yeah.
Did you find that very tricky at first?
Definitely tricky at first, and I'm not as athletically fit as I used to be, so it takes quite a lot out of you. But yeah, you just kind of get used to it, and the clarinet almost just is part of like me. So you just sometimes I just forget it's there because you use all your face, but just not your mouth, which I suppose is strange. It's all in the eyebrows.
Yeah, but it's interesting, isn't it? The idea of using your whole body as an extension to the instrument, or the instrument as an extension to your body, is actually a very good thing in a way for playing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we all want to feel at one with our instruments, whatever they are. So I think that's really interesting, and it uses the whole range of the clarinet, doesn't it? Thank you.